what's the last 48 hours for you been like being traded from?
Yeah, it was definitely a ride of emotions, like up and down. Definitely sad leaving because I've been there for my whole career, but definitely very, very excited to be joining this organization and help for a playoff push.
Yeah, how do you feel about that opportunity, given a chance to be in the starting rotation?
Yeah, I was kind of pushed out. We had quite a few guys there in that organization, but yeah, couldn't be more excited and thrilled to be here and be a part of it.
You had just one start at Fenway in your career. The results aside from the last one, just how do you view just the energy of the ballpark and having those home fans behind you now?
Yeah, I mean, it was super exciting when I was here and I made that start. Didn't go the best, but definitely looking forward to some good ones in the future.
Sorry, go ahead, please, Mark.
You were surprised that the Dodgers trade you, and how was the process, the communication process with the management?
Communication was great. It was kind of just like if things kind of fit perfect on both ends, then we can make it work. I don't think they were trying to push anything, but like it worked on both sides. So like I said, I'm excited to be here.
Had you heard Boston early on in the discussion, rumors, or?
Honestly, no. I hadn't heard anything about Boston until about 3 minutes before the deal went down. So yeah, I had my agent text me and said, hey, like it looks like some reports are going here. I was like, all right, cool. And then 3 minutes later had a phone call. So
you kind of go through that little uncertainty, and then you hear it's Boston. What's your reaction?
I was thrilled, especially like being here a week before and like experiencing it for my first time. Like this ballpark is incredible. There's a lot of emotions and a lot of just great history here. So definitely happy to be part of it.
What scouting report did you get from Walker when you talked to him?
He said it was a great organization. The guys are super excited, and they are definitely a fun group to play with.
How would you describe this season for yourself so far?
For myself, it's definitely been a roller coaster. I've had a couple good ones, a couple really bad ones, and the rest have just been kind of in that midline. I definitely feel like there's an uptick in stuff in like the last month or so, and I feel like I'm kind of stepping into my groove, and hopefully that translates, and then I can ride it off.
From a personal standpoint, what excites you most about this opportunity for your own kind of growth?
For my own growth, just being able to step into the rotation and feel like I can help. Being kind of like an older guy, but not really having a super bunch of like experience playing. Like I have like a lot of knowledge, so like I've had a lot of learning processes through this year. Just playing wise, but definitely excited to get here and pick this scouting group and pitching coaches like heads and see what their best process for me to go forward is.
On that topic, you've been in the same organization for a while, your whole career. How much can a fresh set of eyes maybe help you, guys with some different ideas about usage, things like that?
Oh, I think it's a great idea, or a great thing. Walker had nothing but high praise for these guys, and then my pitching coaches over and at the Dodgers had a lot of high praise for these guys as well. So definitely excited to get to work with them and hopefully nail some things out and get some better results.
Dustin, how nice is it to just be healthy this year?
It's been one of the biggest things for me is just staying on the field like under all circumstances. So I mean, it's definitely been a roller coaster, like I was saying, of like execution and like being like who I think I am as a pitcher, but just being able to go out every day that my name is called and pitch I couldn't really ask for much more at this point.
They're having you start Wednesday, obviously, give you a little time. Do you feel like having a few days will help you, kind of see what they want to say, see what they want to tweak, that type of stuff?
Yeah, I'm sure I'll go into this first one kind of get my feet wet with the guys, and then after that we'll probably kind of like dig in and kind of go to work. Just getting to kind of know everybody and feel their ways to go about things and my ways to go about things, and just trying to mesh and put the best foot forward.
It's going to be like 10 days between outings. Like what's it been like? Have you been through something like this?
I've had a couple of those this year. They definitely play a lot of matchups with the Dodgers, so I've definitely had some longer breaks and then shorter breaks, and haven't really been like on a consistent schedule. So it should be fine. I kind of have a good idea for it.
Because of that, yeah, are you a little better at sort of managing that and knowing how to make sure you're ready? Have you learned a little about yourself with those kind of gaps?
Yeah, absolutely. And also like just talking to guys and like seeing the best way to go about it, and like other guys have been in this situation. So just trying to put my best foot forward and like be as ready as I can whenever my name is called.
You mentioned it's been kind of a roller coaster for you this year. What makes you think that maybe now you're set to kind of take off and find a groove? And what do you take out of that last start here? Obviously, just kind of the Bregman pitch. Other than that, it was a pretty strong outing.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like most of my outings, like I'm like really good, and then I have like a blow up inning. So just trying to limit that blow up inning and like keep it on like a lower level, like instead of it being like a 4 or 5, like maybe like a 1 or like none. So especially talking with these guys and like the way that they scouted me, like the Dodgers have never scouted me before, so they can prepare you as much as they can prepare you, but coming here, they scouted me, they executed a plan. So getting to pick these hitters' brains, see what they saw, see what they think could help, could hurt, what's good, what's not as great, I think will be a good thing going forward as well.
Who else on the roster do you know personally?
So I played with Walker, I played with Connor Wong in the minor leagues before he was traded, and then I actually played with Justin Slayton in summer ball when I was in high school. So it's cool coming in, knowing a few guys, definitely being able to talk to them and like kind of pick their brains about like what's good, what's bad, like what, especially Walker, like what's different about the organizations, like what I can do to like not like be in a weird situation that like would have been fine over there. So yeah, I'm excited.
Hey Brandon, first can you just walk us through with Brock and Alex what you guys liked in them and kind of how you see them fitting into what you're going to do the rest of the year?
Yeah, coming into the deadline, we felt like, you know, our focus and acute need was going to be a right-handed high-end reliever after we lost Evan for the year. You know, and being able to reunite with Brock, we felt like, you know, he's in the upper tier of right-handed relievers. He's been absolutely dominant against right this year and performing really well. And then obviously knowing the person and how hard he works and, you know, the relationships he's had here, we were really excited to get him back in the mix. And then with Alex, you know, addressing some verse left, outfield depth, and like this guy's just a straight grinder, works at bats. Playing against him, he's always incredibly frustrating to try to game plan for and get out. So I think it was a nice balance to fill some, you know, some holes and continue to build out with a really like functional roster on top of the already really strong talent we had.
Obviously, you know, and those are the two things you guys are kind of targeting coming into the deadline. But, you know, over the years, I think you guys have also kind of conditioned some of your fans to expect bigger moves. I mean, how difficult was it when you guys were looking at like bigger names at the top of the market, especially on the relief side, with just some of the prices? And was there anything bigger that you guys felt like you did get close on?
I mean, we're always, as we've shown in the past, we're always having those conversations on ways to, you know, add impact type talent. And we feel like, you know, what we did with Brock is adding an impact type right-handed reliever. So we're always in those conversations and trying to figure out how to make this team better. And we felt, you know, what we came away with is, you know, a really strong core of talent that we already had. And then we're able to address some needs and continue to make this team better.
Was trying to do deals where you guys, you know, were able to protect kind of the key parts of your farm system a priority in this, or is it just kind of how the individual conversations you had kind of shook out?
Yeah, I think it's always about how does everything fit together with what our current roster is, what our needs are. And, you know, we went into this season with a really high bar of talent, and you know, outside of losing Evan, we're in that same spot. So we felt like this is an incredibly talented group that as we get healthy and these guys hit their stride, we feel like we're in a great position for another deep run into October.
All right, thank you.
Next question's from Fabian Ardaya. Go ahead, Fabian.
Hey, Brandon. So do you guys sort of envision Paul has splitting time in left with Conforto then, especially you kind of mentioned how good he is against left?
Yeah, I think the way Michael's swinging it right now, and he's handling both sides, I think we have the opportunity to mix Alex around. And obviously sometimes there's off days that are needed in different scenarios. So that's, kind of how Doc wants to use him. But we know we really like the talent and how he can fit in. And if guys need a day or two, or if there's a specific matchup that, Doc prefers, we can go down that path and feel really good about the at-bat quality and what he's going to do to lengthen the lineup.
And then with moving Dustin, how much of that sort of reaction to seeing what the prices kind of were out there for pitching and just being able to recoup some stuff for the farm system there?
Look, we had a lot of really respectful conversations with D-May, and he's been a huge part of the organization for a long time. And, through those conversations, it was apparent that starting was very important to him. And, while we felt like, he could have been a contributor out of the bullpen in an impact type piece, trying to understand the mindset and his desire to continue to start. We took that into consideration, and if there was a deal that we felt made sense, we were going to be open to do it. So that's kind of how it came together, and I think it worked out for both sides there.
Just to clarify, did he ask for a trade then?
No, these were just conversations that we had. Yeah, he did not ask for a trade.
Okay, thank you.
Next question is from Sonia. Go ahead, Sonia.
Hey, Brandon. Brock has obviously changed a lot as a pitcher since, the time he was in this organization. I was wondering, what have you noticed him from afar do, specifically differently kind of in the interim?
Yeah, when we had Brock early on, obviously he was mostly starting, so that's when you get shortened up and head into the pen, you're going to see an increase in stuff, and he's worked incredibly hard on his delivery and his pitches. He's added a double plus breaking ball on top of the changeup that he had when he was here. So it's a dynamic arsenal. And being able to deploy him in high leverage situations is something we're really excited about.
Do you kind of see him being used, I guess, a setup role? Is he potentially a ninth inning option depending on, matchups?
I think how our bullpen is constructed, and especially once we get some other guys back, Doc will have a lot of different options to go to. And I think that's the beauty of having a really talented, deep pen. And it's, going to be who's up that day, who's, where does the matchup make the most sense, and just have a high level of trust in a bunch of different guys, and to be able to go out and finish a game that way is kind of the best way to go out and do it.
And when a team in your division that's 3 games back, has a day like the Padres did today, you're obviously focused on your own roster, but does that, how does that kind of change the calculus of the deadline for you?
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of action today throughout the game, and, a lot of teams improved. We feel really good about this group, and coming into the year felt like this was as talented of a roster as we've ever had. And, we're in the position we're in first place, and I don't even think we've played our best baseball yet. So as we continue to get some of our starters back, and then adding these pieces and our guys just kind of playing up to their potential, we feel like, still a really, really strong team, and we don't feel any differently about, our aspirations than we did at the beginning of the year.
Cool. Thank you.
Next question is from Kirsten. Go ahead, Kirsten.
Brandon, you kind of just hit on it, but just how challenging was it approaching this deadline, just understanding all the injuries, guys getting healthier, and understanding that, and you're not understanding, but having the confidence that kind of guys are going to get back to where you've been seeing pre-injury?
Yeah, I think we have guys on the horizon that are coming back that will obviously be big boosts to this team, and feel confident that the current group, while, like I said, playing well and performing well, we haven't even come close to playing our best baseball. And as we saw last year, what's most important is to peak at the right time and hit our stride when we in that second half and be strong going into October. So, like I said, the belief in this group and what we can accomplish is really strong, and feel great about what we can do.
Thank you.
Next question is from JP. Go ahead, JP.
Hey, Brandon. What can you tell us about the outfield prospects that you got from Boston? What's the scouting report on those guys?
Yeah, Tibbs is somebody we had really high in our room last year coming out of the draft. Just a really advanced feel to hit and working at bat. And it was somebody that, had he been there, we definitely would have taken. And obviously, he went well ahead of us at 13. So we're excited to get our PD group working with him. And then, Earhart is somebody who's really intriguing that we feel like, from the right-handed side can really play defense and with some upside from talking to our, performance group. He's a really good athlete, and we feel like we can continue to, work with him. And we're excited about adding both of those guys as, future talent, and hopefully factoring in at some point, down the line in the big leagues with us.